Welcome to the Intern Whisperer Live, the show all about internships and how to survive them. This is Abby.
This is Matt.
This is Isabella. A reminder to our listeners, you can call us live on the air. The phone number is 407-582-2906. I am feeling that we're going to have a call tonight.
Hopefully.
Okay. You can also chat with us online through Intern Pursuit's Facebook Live chat. To win a limited version of an Intern Pursuit t-shirt, you have to post a comment on Intern Pursuit's Facebook or Instagram with the hashtag What I Learned and a comment from our intern guest tonight. Thank you, Diego. Remember to include the featured hashtag, which is marketing.
All right, coming up in this episode of the Intern Whisper Live, we have the marketing industry, Diego's interest in marketing, hashtag What I Learned stories, great leaders that inspire, employers for change promotion, and our Motivational Monday topic.
Yay! Okay, so social plugs. How do people find us? This is my favorite part. You can go to Pivot Business Consulting and find us on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. You can also find Intern Pursuit on Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Instagram, and YouTube. Intern Pursuit Game is on Facebook and Twitter, and you can listen to us live on mixlr.com/Valencia College Radio and follow the Intern Whisper. You can watch us live again on Intern Pursuit, and you can call us live on the air. The phone number is 407-582-2906. You can also chat with us online. I don't see anybody chatting with us yet, but they can do that. All right.
All right, it's sponsor time. Our first sponsor for tonight is Omnimodal. Omnimodal believes smart cities and public transit services are the backbone of equitable shared mobility today and into the future. Omnimodal works with smart cities to connect all commuters across modes of transportation to the mobility as a service marketplace. You can visit their website, which is omnimodal.io, and that's OMNIMODAL. Thank you, Omnimodal, for sponsoring the Intern Whisperer.
Again, I'm always going to say Sophie Lloyd, Aaron McDonald, thank you for this great music. I love the music. It's from our game, Intern Pursuit, and you can go to internpursuit.tech, download the game. It is only available on the Mac, on the PC, not on Mac. Okay, so tonight's guest is Diego Herreria. I'm trying. I'm really trying.
It's close enough.
It's a lot of R's
It's an
to roll.
Americanized one.
Yeah.
Yeah. An intern at Affiliate Manager. He's finishing up his internship, and he's also a marketing student here at Valencia College. Welcome, Diego.
It's good to be here, and definitely excited to, to be here. And I am definitely looking forward to answering some questions that you guys have for me today.
Very
Great.
nice. So our viewers, can they see this picture?
Yes, it's
they
about
can.
to change.
That's a really great picture. He's looking very, very professional there.
And here we are.
Yeah, and here we are live in the studio. So this is what people would see. So we're going to be going back and forth. I know you've got some family that's going to be watching us tonight, so they'll be able to see that great picture that you provided us and see us here in the studio. Okay, so go ahead.
All
Do you have
right.
the questions in front of you?
Yes, I do.
Excellent.
All
Go
right.
ahead.
Thank you for being here, Diego, and taking the time. So let's start nice and easy. You are currently enrolled here at Valencia as a marketing student. Tell us a little bit more about your interest in the discipline and why you chose to pursue it.
Well, I chose to follow marketing because I've always been interested in business, and marketing is always it's a part of everything, and I feel like it's a large part in any business, any aspect of business, and that's the main reason why I'm so excited and so interested in marketing and why I chose it.
All right.
So why Valencia College? Oh, I'm sorry, Matt.
All I said was all right.
Why did you choose Valencia College?
Because it was close.
That's a very good reason.
No, it is. It is the closest school besides UCF. But the reason that I chose Valencia wasn't much of a choice, as bad as that sounds. I did go to UCF, but my first time around going to college back in 2010, right out of high school, definitely was not as focused, and
There were some growing areas for you, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Growing
I thi-
areas.
so I was kind of, I mean, I'm not gonna say forced, but my option was to, go to Valencia and get my grades up. So that's pretty much why I am currently here.
Yeah. So took a little break,
Mm-hmm.
and that helped you to refocus.
Correct. I
Yeah,
was
which is
not.
good.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
was not focused at all.
Mm.
Not at all.
I don't think you're alone in that area.
Yeah, I
But-
almost
Yeah.
ran
yeah.
the risk of that my first year at FSU too. Like,
Yeah, and I think I've even shared like my I graduated my first 2 years at University of Florida, transferred up to FSU. I flunked out and got sent home. So I have no problem sharing that because I went back to school, graduated from Rollins, went back to school, got an MBA, went back to school and all but dissertation for a PhD. So it's like, you don't let that failure.
Yeah, this is gonna
define
go
you.
great with our motivational
It
Monday
sure
topics.
is.
Yeah, I was actually thinking about
Yeah,
Yeah,
that. as
really,
well.
right?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
such a
Yeah.
so fitting.
It's actually where we learn the most is through those mistakes, right?
Yeah,
Agreed.
same.
Mhm.
Yeah, I did
Actually,
too.
when, I'm sorry. When I met you and you had mentioned that
Yeah.
was something that that's one of the biggest contributing factors to why I decided to go with my
Oh,
with you through my
transparency?
internship.
Yeah. Yeah. And you felt like, okay, this is somebody that gets me, that can understand and can relate, right?
Correct. And
Yeah.
there's many people out there that are judgmental, and
Yeah.
they don't. I guess I don't know if they don't believe in second chances, but they.
Well, I think that there's this place, that's a really good observation. I think there's this place when people arrive at whatever they define success as, and this is just one theory, but they see success and they want to really portray that, okay, this is what is expected. And it can also depend on where you're working, because in more very conservative corporate structures, they expect you to be in the top 10%. Well, that can be true, but it doesn't mean that you're not eligible for that, or you may not be ready for that. The past is the past, and like, what are your grades? So honestly, I never included FSU in my transcripts when I was sending them up to and applied to Rollins. I went, here you go, here's where I went. And that was at a time when they probably didn't have the ability to see or track, everywhere where you've been to school, because I'm pretty sure they can tell.
Oh, they can do that now. Oh,
I'm
Yeah.
pretty sure they can
Gotta
tell.
write that down.
But
Take note of that.
I only put the school that I actually had a real degree, and that was one of the things that I was so grateful for, is the fact that I went to a 2-year school and I made sure I did the elective to check off that I wanted a degree, because then nobody could take that away from you, once you have it. So I know you guys, you're both taking classes at Valencia.
Yes.
You might want to double check and see if you can check that box, and it doesn't hurt anything. It just means that, you have a degree and you can transfer that over.
well, I'm not getting a degree. I'm getting a certificate.
Yeah,
but I
you're
do
different.
have my degree from UCF.
Yeah,
like a
yeah,
literal
because this was
physical,
an add-on.
and I have a physical.
That's great. Yeah, I'm just working
Yeah.
my way into UCF. I'm halfway through my bachelor's, and I'm here in Valencia just
But I think for you should consider checking that box so you can have that degree, and then it actually moves over. And it's good to have a couple of degrees on
No,
your
yeah, I
resume.
completely agree.
Yeah.
Valencia is definitely my second option. I've been here for just one class, but it's a great campus.
Yeah, it's really
It's-
nice. And
it's really
look,
good.
we're in this cool studio.
Oh yeah,
It's a nice studio.
Yeah, it really
Yeah,
is.
we
This
like
whole
it.
building's nice.
Yeah,
it
we
is.
like the building.
State of the
Hey,
art.
Was the TV back in there?
I did not check. No.
I did not check either. I
No,
wanted to go and
I
check.
didn't check
Okay.
either.
We got off topic. Okay,
Right.
so you did your internship over at Affiliate Manager, and what was that like? Because it's a 6-month process. We've had Claudia on here, we've had Damien on here. So what have you learned from your internship with Affiliate Manager?
Well, I've actually learned a lot of things. First of all, what affiliate manager, or sorry, what affiliate marketing even was. But the biggest thing that I actually took from that experience was kind of how do I say, like what real, I don't know, for lack of a better word, what real life is, what a real job entails.
Right.
Because everything before this is just, my part-time restaurant, and, it's a lot different than office work, that
Yeah.
atmosphere.
Yeah, what we have in our head as what we think office work is, right?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And it's a make. I mean, there's certain things, but it can be a little different than what people may think right off the top of their head.
So look at what I'm doing on the screen, guys.
Oh, wow.
Oh, it's gone. Too bad. Okay.
Still got a little few hearts. Now they're gone.
Yeah. I was just putting it out there. Okay. All right. So this is like what people would see from their phone. I'm just showing you what it would be like, too.
Okay.
And all of this, being on the show, it's part of the marketing strategy, right?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure that you've learned about how you have to have different verticals to be able to get to market. I think that something else that was really valuable that Affiliate Manager does, it's a 6-month internship. So you learn a set of skills that actually helps you to move into a position. And so you have some good news to share. Does your family know?
Oh, yes, they are aware.
Yeah. So go ahead and share with our listeners.
Well, the biggest news is that that internship eventually turned into, it just turned into an actual
Paid
job.
job.
Oh, wow.
So
Congratulations on that.
Congratulations.
Thank you
That's
guys.
great.
And it's the same for Damien also.
Yep, definitely. We both started about the same time, just a day apart, and we got hired together.
So does Karen and Claudia know that you're on the show tonight?
No. Well, I do. I actually don't know. I meant to add it on Slack, and one thing led to another. I got distracted. We were talking about the weather up in Chicago last time.
So here's the thing that's going to happen. Make sure that you put it on your Affiliate Manager Slack channel because they go and they listen to what you've said.
Oh, okay. Well, depending on what I say, then I'll let them know. No, I'm just kidding. I'm kidding, guys.
Yeah.
All
But
right.
nonetheless, so, and if you don't tell them, I'm going to end up telling them. So I would say, you definitely want to be the one that shares that news.
I only have positive things to say. So.
Obviously, yeah.
good.
So that was really good. You've learned that. But what other soft skills do you think are really the most valuable thing that you've been able to take from this experience and move forward to growing with the company?
Well, communication. This is something. It's kind of like a different mode of communicating. Usually, from my other experiences, it's kind of. It is person to person. Like, for example, I work at.
You mean when you talk with a client?
Well, the thing is that this type of, in my job with Affiliate Manager, most of the communication is actually not in person, which is something that is new.
All remote.
Yeah. So it's a little different than what I'm used to. I'm used to in person. So that is something that I had to get used to, which is surprising because most people feel like talking to a person, face to face may seem a little harder, but for me, it's easier than to have to write it down for some reason. So that's something that I've been,
Having to adjust with.
Yeah, adjusting, and I'm definitely learning how to be more comfortable doing that.
That's really interesting because Affiliate Manager has gone totally remote. And so all of their employees can work from home. Mm-hmm. And I know that Diego shared there was a benefit to that for him next month, you said, right?
Yes, next month I'm going to be able to go on a little vacation to Ecuador. But the good thing is that since we're working remote, I'll still be able to, put in some hours at the job and still get paid while I'm still on vacation.
How's the Wi-Fi over there?
I do not currently know, but I do have a plan B, and I am getting an extra network, like a SIM card for my tablet.
Got it.
Because I know their T-Mobile, I have T-Mobile, and
they're friendly with that.
Yeah, their connection is.
It's not too bad.
Decent.
Yeah.
Have you ever been to Ecuador before?
Yes, I've been to Ecuador a few times. I haven't been in about 4 or 5 years. So.
Okay, so little tip. This is what I learned from having come back. I said we weren't going to discuss this, but from Portugal, is you have to notify your phone company in advance that you're going abroad so that they don't think that there's somebody stole your phone. So make sure you do that. That's the first thing.
Check your roaming costs too.
Yes, check your roaming
costs. They will get you there.
Yeah, and I purchased an international pass that was $10 every day, and then it gave me the Wi-Fi I needed. So I wasn't paying for the roaming costs. It was really helpful. So call your phone company coordinate that like a day or two in advance, and they'll set it all up, so you don't have any problems with billing. Now, what I would say is, what was helpful is find the cafes that have Wi-Fi, and then you could go there and be able to have some connectivity, decent connectivity, because it may not be, in your family, because you're seeing family for the holidays. It may not be there, but there's places where you can have pretty strong connectivity.
And that's actually a
Hotels.
Yep, that is. Well, we won't be staying at hotels.
No, but you can go to a hotel and use their coffee shop.
Oh, okay.
That's what I'm saying. Or their business center, because that's what I ended up doing is I was in a Airbnb, and they gave me their Wi-Fi, but it wasn't as powerful as going into the Ramada Inn, which had super great Wi-Fi.
Nowadays, I don't think it's too hard to find good Wi-Fi anywhere in the world.
I think it depends, because I know that Sergio, when he was in Venezuela, it was really hard.
Oh, really?
Yeah, and he had to go into the actual city and find and that's why I'm explaining that, either a cafe or a place like a hotel to be able to get it. So I think it varies country to country, and certainly city to city, depending on the size of the city. And his city was relatively small because he was visiting his grandmother, who was in a very small village, and they had to travel into the city.
Right.
So tips on using that.
Yeah, I appreciate that. Actually, kind of jogged my memory about the cafes over there. So many internet cafes, so I probably won't even have to, worry about that. And then also, when you mentioned about notifying my service provider, I actually just had the idea. I can actually check through their service providers, because they have monthly plans, weekly plans.
Yeah.
So that might be a better option, but
Yeah. Yep. Definitely. Do you have to do that in Puerto Rico?
No.
Okay, I did not know.
Puerto Rico's part of the state, so it just
I know it
counts,
is, but it's still like if I go to the
But
Bahamas.
it is overseas, but no, you don't.
It's overseas.
You don't need to do that.
Bahamas not a part of us, but I just.
Oh, you mean
didn't
with the
know.
phone, the roaming?
Yeah.
Well, some plans, it's not bad depending if you set up the plan here in the States. But yeah, if you have a Puerto Rican service provider, you do need to notify it. I have Sprint, which is international, so it doesn't
that's
really
everywhere.
matter.
What do you do?
I have T-Mobile, but I don't go anywhere international. I haven't
You've never
tested.
been out of the U.S.
No, I have not.
Okay, well, there's going to be that first time for you.
Out of Florida.
I have been out of Florida.
Okay.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah, it could vary outside of our state. Well, and again, I think it's more of protecting the provider, because you'll get a text and says, "Are you really here?" Because we got a notification that you're traveling, and that applies to like banking cards too. I had to let my bank
wouldn't
know.
credit cards and debit cards be
Yeah.
the same way?
Yeah, I had to do that with my bank.
I actually had an experience with that with the bank when I went to Georgia. I was so confused. I was like I didn't think of it like as such a big deal.
It is.
Just the next state over, but they locked my card.
Yeah.
Wow.
So now you know. And when you're going over there, you better make sure you really notify the bank and the phone provider.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, because you don't want to be where you don't have access to your money.
Right.
Okay, so
Where are we?
Okay, so what advice would you give to students who are interested in following the same career path?
I would definitely tell them to first kind of focus, or, well, actually, let me start. Sorry. To kind of think exactly what type of, what part of business that they want. I mean, unless they want marketing, right off the bat, I would say to first kind of figure out what you want to do, like what your, main goal is. Because I myself never thought about going marketing and anything like that. But after thinking what my ultimate goal was, I realized that marketing will definitely be a big part. So I would definitely tell them to figure out, what exactly in business
They're
that they want to
passionate
do.
about.
Yes,
Right.
exactly.
And with
What they think
marketing,
they're good
where it's a branch that's in high demand too.
It's always
There's
will be.
always, especially nowadays, we're always marketing something. So
Yeah, and you have to
Yeah.
think about it as there's many different aspects of marketing. There's business development, there's sales, there's inbound marketing, there's actual relational marketing, there's affiliate marketing, and then there is so much that you have to think about. What is it that you want to specialize in?
Right.
So that's really key. I think that one of the best analytics, of course, if you are a person that likes to get a lot of energy from others, anything that's a networking marketing is really good, where you get to talk to people. That's going to be a good use of your time. If you're somebody that likes to maybe minimize that, analytics could be a better place for you to be when you're looking at career paths and what is in marketing, and certainly research. The research that goes into marketing is really, it's about psychology and convincing people that they have to have this product.
Yes.
Yeah, that's going to be really key. Excuse me. So, where are we in our notes? Because I had...
All right.
I'd say you're in social media marketing, and I heard from Abby you don't utilize a lot of your social media presence. Is there a reason for that?
Well, yeah. Well, the main reason. Well, first of all, I am not utilizing social media at this moment. First.
Okay.
Okay.
Wait, don't you have LinkedIn, though? Because I know you and I had talked about that.
I started it, but I honestly haven't.
You haven't finished building your profile?
No, I've been a little lazy in that regard. Since I do have a job, I didn't really see a reason to. But
It's always about networking.
Yeah,
'Cause
exactly.
that's actually how you can, garner more clients for the company. So you have to think about it as maybe it's not marketing yourself, but it is a representation of the company. And you can actually use that to your advantage to say, hey, I just found you on the podcast channel, and perhaps you might like to come to our company, and we can tell you a little bit more about what we do.
And I heard you say it's a representation of like the company.
Yeah.
And that's actually another reason, with the social media is, I don't have anything, crazy on my social media, but I am kind of revamping everything, not only for it to be, to show, just to be, because I have to be mindful of
Right.
of how I represent myself, because I'm representing, the company now.
The company.
Yeah, so that is, one reason. But honestly, the biggest reason is just, I don't know. I just feel like everybody's lost in like their phones and social
I
media.
agree.
They don't like
agree,
that
too.
face-to-face interaction anymore. And I'm like, oh my God, we need this.
No,
Yeah,
yeah.
we're
Yeah.
built for relationship,
Yeah,
right?
Yeah, I just, some people care more about their, their likes and all this, I'm just going to call it crap, because to me, that's
Yeah.
crap. But
That's
yeah.
a permitted word, just so
Yeah.
you know.
I predict that in 10 years, people are going to start being born with their necks just like that.
right?
Always
Yeah.
looking down.
I don't
We're not
know.
going to be able to physically look up into the sky or in front of us.
I don't
right?
know. I think that there's really, and I'm serious, I think that there's a lot more awareness and I'll use this word, intentional focus on realizing that this can either be our future or this can be our future, where I'm like pointing to the people that are actually in the room, and we call it a phone, it's really a computer, but we can either use it as a phone and talk to people, or
Right.
we can use it as a tool to research other things, but the ability to put it down and walk away from it is going to be huge.
Yeah, I think that's really true, because Apple just added that screen.
Screen-
it
yeah,
it
screensaver.
tells you how long you've been on your screen and what percentage you are down or up from the previous week, and you can see analytics of how often you're on your phone. So if you want to reduce that, give you the tools. And I think Androids have that too.
Right. It's not, I don't have anything against technology. It's certainly very useful. I just don't like depending on it.
Well,
Too
we always
much.
depend on something.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, like, in the sense that, looking at your phone all the time, checking social media,
Oh yeah,
like getting
I
lost
agree.
in it. It's a great
It's a
tool that
rabbit
we can
hole.
use to do many great things, but it shouldn't be our main focus.
Yeah, it's not a real person.
No.
It doesn't substitute real interaction with real people.
I know. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I
No.
feel like it twists like it is. I feel like it's helpful for society, and it brings us closer in a sense. But like, if you are in the same room, you don't need to be communicating through your phones, through social
Yeah.
media. You just get up, talk to the person, and that's kind of where I have like an issue with it, where it's like we are close, we're local, we're in the same room. We could be in the same room, but many people, don't utilize, their their mouths to talk to people.
Yeah.
They use their
I really,
fingers.
yeah, absolutely
So
hate it.
here's the question.
Yeah,
Everybody did Thanksgiving dinner, right? Yes?
Yeah.
Yes?
sort of.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. I'm with you. So if you were doing Thanksgiving and you were with other people, I was visiting with my brother. And his wife's parents came over, and they have 5 kids. You know, my brother and his wife have 5 kids. Anyway, one of the things that a guest came in and said, "Do you know how many people are on their phone?" And they're okay. So 5 kids. There was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 adults, and most of them, I want to say, out of that's like 13. Probably 10 people were on their phones.
Oh wow.
While
and the other
dinner was
3
going on?
No, not while dinner preparation
Oh,
was
okay,
going
okay.
on.
Oh,
No.
okay.
When it came time for dinner, my brother said, "Phones down." And he was really talking to the kids because nobody else had their phones at the table.
See,
And
that's
they
where I
had
have
to
a
throw 'em.
problem with it. If you're having a conversation with somebody, I believe it's extremely rude to look at your phone unless it's an emergency. You know, and that really is one of the only things that bother me. If I'm talking to a friend and they do that thing where they take out their phone, and I just like literally either stand up or leave or just disregard them because
I
it's
have
rude.
been guilty of that. I know I have. And I was actually signing on so it would show, so I could show Diego, this is what it is. There's 3 people watching the show,
Oh,
so I'm
look
going to
at
guess 2 are your family. We
Hopefully.
don't know who they are because they
Hopefully.
haven't put a comment in here. But
Which
we
you
can-
totally
If that's
can.
you, please
Yeah.
leave a comment.
And
Yeah.
call.
Write hi where it says write a comment.
Yeah.
Hi, son.
I'm talking to you, Mom and Dad.
Yeah. So that he'll know that you're watching. Normally, some people, they'll pop up over there in the chat and we'll be able to see who they are. But I actually saw it on my phone. I just don't know what their names are. I'll look while we're here because it did say a name. Anyway, so I think that was very, very insightful at Thanksgiving is the number of people that
Well, I
went.
just thought it was funny. At my Thanksgiving, there was a point where my aunt's like, "I'm bored. All of you are boring. You're all looking at your phone." And she's talking about my grandma, too, who's on her phone. And she's 89, and she's just on her phone flipping through, looking
There
at
you
Facebook
go.
pictures.
There's your mom and
Yeah,
dad.
there's my mom and dad.
Okay, so we'll like them and we'll say thank you for listening in. Yeah, so there.
Show the love.
Hopefully. Yeah, that's cool. So there. That's pretty cool.
Okay, what's next?
All right. So, you had a previous position before I met you. And I know that this was one of these things that came up in a conversation. He and I were in the kitchen at Starter Studio, and I was talking about the keto diet, and that's when I found out he was like a fitness trainer.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I became certified about 2 years ago, 3 years now, I believe. But yeah, I went that route for a little bit. But
He gave me all kinds of tips so I would know about keto diet. What do you think about, totally unrelated, but what do you think, because I was reading this, there's like a 21-day water diet where all they're drinking is water to just get everything out of their system.
I would never recommend that. That just sounds, that's like a fad diet. It's just something that just very, very unhealthy. I mean, in the bare minimum, I would say you have to have a little bit of fats, like the keto diet,
Like the
that's
avocado.
that's a little bit. That's even though it's still to an extreme, it's at least something. Your brain is mostly fat. You got to feed the brain. You have to feed the muscles, and a 21-day diet of water. You'll live, but you won't feel good.
You won't be happy.
You won't
So
feel
what
good.
is a keto diet? I've never heard of it.
Oh,
Yeah, I mean,
so
yeah.
you can explain this one.
It's think of it as like a low carb diet.
Okay.
Okay.
It's
So
meat.
yeah. So basically, it's just simply you can eat as much fats and as much proteins as you like, and you'd still lose weight. Isn't that a little crazy?
Interesting.
Now, there was you had told me about something that is, what was it? Keto breath.
Oh yes.
Yeah, so that's like a drawback and what to expect. I have no idea what it's supposed
So
to
you
smell
get
like.
some weird sort of breath from having a keto diet?
Yeah, once your body switches, because your body is natural, or its main source of energy is carbohydrates. Once your body switches over
And it's
to
burning
fats,
fat.
your body. The one good thing is that you'll have a more constant energy level. But some of the negative is you get stinky breath.
Okay,
That
I
doesn't really
figured.
go- yeah, it doesn't go away.
You can't get rid of it.
Yeah,
You cannot?
No, until you pretty much stop that. I believe your nails, and I don't know if it's your teeth,
Your
but I know your
hair?
nails your hair gets a little brittle. Your nails will get a little bit, they'll get more brittle and yellow. Start tinting. a
Is
little
that is that an unhealthy aspect of it, or is it natural?
I mean, it's a natural aspect of your body switching
It's
over.
a common reaction, I
Yes,
guess.
but I honestly I don't know if it's healthy to continue like that. To be honest, that's something that I don't know too much about.
Okay.
But I believe that you should be able to continue, living like that in a healthy way. But again, I don't know that aspect of it.
Oh, okay.
So I had read about it, and it's one of the, I don't want to use fad, but it is a trend right now. And so the people that are using that particular diet, it's one to help get rid of a lot of excess weight, and it will do it pretty quickly. But the meats that you eat is like bacon and eggs, so you got a protein. That's not hard to do. But you're not having toast or grits or hash browns or stuff like that.
Right.
You can have healthy fats, which are, I know it's avocados. I think coconut oil, maybe? Or
Fish?
I mean, I'm
Olive
coconut oil is healthy. I just don't know if it's one of the healthier options. To be honest, I don't know too much about the oils.
So, and then nuts. You can have nuts.
Love nuts.
Yeah, so pistachios. That was a win.
But you'll kill somebody for a piece of bread on your second or third day.
Yeah,
Kill
yeah,
somebody over some
Oh
bread.
God,
Yeah.
I eat so much bread.
yeah.
So how does this that you worked in the fitness industry? How was that a good thing for you, or did it help in any way in your
It
professional
helped me
career?
realize that I need to get back into school and I guess follow what get my degree so I can actually follow what I truly wanted to do. And one of the biggest reasons is because I was a certified personal trainer, so I kind of worked for myself. Of course, you can go work for businesses or gyms and everything, but my main goal was to be my own, kind of work for myself, right?
Okay.
Right.
And that's when I realized that it would be a lot beneficial to me to go back to school, figure out the business aspect and everything.
Oh, that's great.
And
Isn't your dad an entrepreneur?
yes, he is. He's
Okay.
he owns his own business. Yes.
And what is that?
Well, he's a micropreneur because he's not really.
A micropreneur.
I think that's the correct word, micropreneur. I don't know. I'm trying to throw out some terms I learned last semester. I don't know. It's just like an entrepreneur would be someone that will have multiple businesses. Make a business, sell it off, continue, move on.
That's like serial entrepreneurism.
Yeah. But a micropreneur is someone that
Sounds like a solopreneur.
it's kind of one that they're not interested in running multiple businesses or anything. They just want one small little business, and they don't have it grow. I guess that would be the better word.
Okay.
They aren't wanting it to scale.
Correct.
I think
They don't
that's
want to
the word.
change
scale,
in
yeah.
a way. It's just local,
Yeah.
one thing. You
It's
can
like
only
a
find it in one
family,
place. Right.
family business.
Like a family
and
business.
It
Correct.
stays there.
Correct.
Yeah, gotcha.
I want
Okay.
to be an entrepreneur. I want to advance and keep going, and
What is your dad's business?
he is home renovations, home improvements. It's called H&H Handyman Services.
Your dad's going to so love you for that.
right.
Yeah, H&H Handyman. So he does all types of, it's not just renovations. He can do like if somebody has a honey-do list and say, here's a bunch of things I need to have done in my house.
Correct. Yes. That's the.
I
handyman part of it.
actually know somebody that needs that. So I'll need to make sure I get your dad's name and phone number so I can pass that on.
Okay, no problem.
Yeah.
And he definitely does high quality work.
I am sure
That's
because I
great.
know what your values are.
Yeah.
And it doesn't fall far
He
from
is
that
like
tree.
times 1,000.
Oh, that's good. That's very good.
All right. So Who are some great leaders that inspire you? They could be living, dead, people
Family,
that you know.
teachers,
Personal,
people you don't
professional.
know.
Honestly, it would just be my family. They kind of seeing what my dad and my family have gone through. We're not by no means rich, but well, they are, not me. They're comfortable, but it didn't start out that way. We came to this country, pretty poor, and seeing how far they've gone. Growing up, I kind of had like a little spoiled mindset, but now that I'm an adult, I see their struggles and everything that they've gone through to get to where we are. So I really admire that, and I one day aspire to be as good a person and as great a person as my mother and father.
Oh, that's nice.
super sweet. Yeah.
So I think your parents are going to really appreciate hearing that. So
Yeah.
that's nice. Okay, so we have this really great quote.
All right. You want to do the honors, Matt?
I mean, you found it.
Okay.
I think it's yours.
All right.
Your honor to have.
All right. So our motivational quote for the day comes from Thomas J. Watson, and it goes a little something like this. Would you like me to tell you the formula for success? It's quite simple, really. Double your rate of failure. You are thinking of failure as the enemy of success, but it isn't at all. You can be discouraged by failure, or you can learn from it. So go ahead and make mistakes. Make all you can. Because remember, that's where you will find success. So what do you guys think about that?
I'm going to let our guest go first.
Okay.
Okay, well, I don't know. That speaks a lot to me because there's been a lot of failures in my life, and just like I mentioned earlier, my first go around to college was a big disaster, and that snowballed into more. I don't know, more just negative things, and I'll call them failures. But realizing that I have to learn from my failures and learn from my mistakes, and that true success is in those failures is I don't know. I'm trying to live by that.
I think that we should probably see the word failure and redefine it, reframe it for what it means. Failure, if we limit that word in definition to something that's highly negative in our head, and in our heart, it can be something that stops us from reaching some level of growth or potential that we're really called to do. So I think if we go and we take the word failure and we see it as learning opportunities, because we're human and we're going to make mistakes. We need to realize that we are not perfect, that we will make mistakes, and some of those can be defined by culture as a failure. But we can turn that around and make it something positive and go, I really learned a lot from that. And I learned I'm not going to do this. So I have an example from today. So I met with a IT guy. He's super brilliant in programming, Luis Morales, and he's going to work with me to get my Intern Pursuit MVP product ready. And what he was proposing to me was, let's define what MVP means. I found that really helpful. So I told him what I define my most valuable product. That's really where we are. So I defined that for him, and I said, this is really where the funding opportunities are. If I'm looking for a National Science Foundation grant, this is how I would differentiate it from my competitors. And so I really felt like that was the key. And he said, okay, so this is what he suggested that we do. There was a recommendation, and I went, you know what? I'm going to trust what it is that you're saying, because honestly, what I've been doing hasn't been working. So I think that we need to be able to pivot quickly from a mistake that we make. We need to not put it in a box as to what the word means, failure, and we need to be open to new opportunities. So that was my takeaway from here, because this was like the perfect quote. Good job, Abby.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah, it resonated a lot with me too. I believe that I can make the best out of any situation that I'm in, even a bad situation. I'm not saying it's good, but it's a way to learn from something. So
I'd say that's something I'm still learning to teach myself, is not to take failure as this horrific thing and not take it personally.
I am
Right.
so laughing because all I see are your eyes. I have no idea what you see, but all I see is your eyes. And it's just every time. What was that show? Tool Time?
Home
With-
improvement.
Home Improvement. Yeah, and the
And
neighbor.
there's the guy over there.
That's all I see. And every time
Yeah.
I'm sitting there, that's what I'm thinking of when I see you talking. I'm going,
Yeah.
I only see your eyes. Anyway, that's good,
But
though.
yeah, I think it's something that I'm actively working on learning for myself. And I think changing the word away from failure is a really key
Yeah,
component
giving
to
it a new
because that
definition.
is such a negative connotation to it.
Well, we can be shamed by what we think society says, or we can be empowered and change it in our own head and just not pay attention to
And,
what
and
they
we're not
say.
saying that failure is a good thing, but it's something to learn from.
can be.
It
It's,
can be.
and it's inevitable.
We should see
It
it
is,
as
exactly.
something that's human.
Just
and
by
it's-
trying, you'll
gonna
either
be.
fail or you won't.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
embrace it.
So, Matt, we're going to our second.
Sponsor.
Yeah,
second
and I
sponsor.
don't. We have
Take it
no
away.
music here, so that's good. Okay.
All right. Our second sponsor for the night is Create the Movement. Creating a movement takes two things, the right people and the right message. Finding the right people takes laser focus and extensive research. Crafting the right message requires in-depth market knowledge and constant tweaking. It's not about thinking outside the box. It's about knowing what your box is made of and using it to your advantage. Thank you, CreateTheMovement.com, for sponsoring the Intern Whisperer Live.
Fun little jingle there. I like
Yeah,
it.
that's our music from our game. All right, so Valencia College, we want to make sure we give a special recognition and shout out to the fact that we have this great radio station here on the East Campus with our state-of-the-art social broadcasting studio atmosphere. Thank you, Q. As always, thank you, Q. We have
Gotta love
3
Q.
watchers.
Yeah. Oh.
3. There was 4. I'm so happy. So anyway, thank you, Q. We all love you. Okay, so we're going to be going over into shout outs. Matt?
I'm going to go with my grandma's just since I came off of Thanksgiving, one I didn't get to see and one I did. And they're just both incredible people who
We love
are-
family.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
who just live life full of kindness and hope, and I hope to achieve that one day.
Ah, you will. You're already there. You keep doing what you're doing. Abby?
Well, as always, a quick shout out to my family in South Florida and in Puerto Rico. I love you to death. And also a special shout out to Khalil because it's his birthday tomorrow. So
Oh,
happy
really?
birthday,
Happy
Khalil.
birthday,
Khalil.
Yes.
Well,
He's
we're singing on
another
Wednesday.
DJ. He works here too, and he's my roommate and one of my best friends. So happy birthday, dude!
Yep, Wednesday. Okay, you're up. Who's your shout out to?
Well, I want to do a shout out to my whole family. Definitely have been with me through thick and thin, and especially a shout out to my mother. She's kind of the one that holds me up when I'm down, and my father, who's real good role model, and my aunt too. Definitely, it was fun having her and my grandmother up for Thanksgiving. So I want to just give a shout out to all of you.
All right.
great.
So my shout out goes to my software team, my game team, my social media team. Adina created a great video that's going to be going out to promote and advertise Intern Pursuit. So I'm giving her a special shout out. A special shout out to all of my hosts, Abby, Khalil, Matt, and Jason. And Jason graduated last week. And so
Congratulations,
special
Jason.
shout out to
Congratulations.
our guest. Okay, so how can people find us? Again, on Facebook. Go to Facebook and Intern Pursuit. You can find us on Twitter. You can listen to us live on mixlr.com/Valencia College. Follow the Intern Whisperer. And we're going to be closing our show out. So we want to thank you for listening.
All right.
Bye, guys.
Thank
Goodbye.
you for having me. Goodbye.